All right, today I got time, cuz. Interesting, you have time today. Was any of that time spent with the Lord or were you with? Watch out, because you was there quenched. But Grace, remember, tell me, right? Because I said I was going to do one last thing one last time and you making this big fuss about it with all this conviction. Let's have the conversation. And you would think that after 7 years of one last times that we would acknowledge the fact that we have a bit of a pattern here and that we're only saying one last time because we want to be able to commit sin with a clear conscience. We don't want the conviction to come until we're experiencing the clarity of the car ride. But nonetheless, the issue therein lies in the fact that you are trying to talk to a holy God saying one last time. You don't know why that's a problem? How is that a problem? I'm trying to change, obviously. Translation, trying to use the carnal weapon of human will to fight a spiritual battle that requires proper alignment and accurate application of the Bible and the intervention of the Spirit. The fact that you are saying one last time suggests you have a common misconception about Christ because you believe, because of his instruction, that his focus is on human behavior. When the reality is his focus is on human behavior because of the implications it has on his true priority, the relationship. You remember what I said about all them big words? And why you cocking your head like, just continue. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and God says, let us make man in our image and likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowl of the air. We already know the subsequent story of the fall of man, which would then institute not the existence of grace, but the necessity of grace. That grace that we see first mentioned in Genesis chapter 6, verse 8, the thing that Noah found in the eyes of the Lord that would empower him to not just live a righteous Christian life, but survive a flood aligned with his divine assignment and subsequently repopulate the planet, all empowered by that same grace, which would then suggest that grace is fuel that the Christian needs to live a righteous life that helps maintain a healthy relationship with God, which would suggest that grace is literally meant for relationship. So would it then be wise for a Christian to use the same thing that is meant to empower the relationship to then violate said relationship? At this point, the woman that texted us is probably asleep by now. And God would have forgiven us though. Why are you tweaking? Baby girl, fine too. I'm not supposed to be the one that says that. Just ignore me. But look at it like this. If I keep bailing you out of jail, does that mean I want you to be in and out of jail? Probably not. In the same way, if God is still going to forgive, does that mean he wants you to keep on sinning? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, sometimes the biggest mistake that we make as Christians, and this is a whole nother can of worms, is we focus so much on avoiding and then reverting that we forget, in accordance to what Jesus says in the book of John, that we're supposed to live a life of abundance and evangelizing.